4 and 5D are about magic and remembering that we are magical beings. 3D means that we have forgotten and fallen under a spell, the sleep, and we're waking up from that. So by embodying certain traits and remembering that you're magic, like figuring out which Harry Potter house you belong to, can help you to see how you show up in the world. So this video is about the Hogwarts 4 houses, the 4 fixed elements and signs, and how it relates to each one and which one are you. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and I help people to find their center. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 Hogwarts houses, the 4 fixed signs, and which of these are you, so that this determines 3 things: how you show up in the world, how you see yourself, and your energetic archetype or energy signature. So why do a lot of people love Harry Potter? Why? Because it talks about magic. It makes us remember the fact that we're magical beings, that we're star seeds and light workers having a temporary physical experience here on Earth. And part of that is waking up from the great slumber or the great awakening, the Ascension. Remembering that we're magical and multidimensional is part of that. So everybody has an energetic archetype. I did a series a while back on like which earthbender are you, which element are you. And part of this is linked to Carl Jung, but some of this is just my own intuitive whatever. And I wanted to share some of that. So let's start with the 4 houses. The first one that we're going to go over is Hufflepuff. And Hufflepuff is representing of the earth element. Hufflepuffs are hardworking, practical. They put their friends first. They don't like fake people, and they're very determined. That's very characteristic of the earth element. And Slytherin, water element. And Slytherin, believe it or not all Slytherins are bad. Just because of some of these traits, they produced, evil wizards from this house. But actually, Merlin was a Slytherin, believe it or not, and he's one of the greatest wizards of all time. So Slytherins are loyal to those that are loyal to them. They're not really evil. They're just arrogant and very prideful. They're smart, driven, and successful. And they're more like individually driven. So that's Slytherin in a nutshell. Then you got Gryffindor, which is the fire element. Gryffindor is probably the most popular house because Harry Potter and all his friends are in that house. But if you remember, the Sorting Hat wanted to place Harry in Slytherin, but Harry chose his own path. He chose, I want to be a Gryffindor, man. So that's kind of like what the fire element is about. It's about being brave, chivalrous. It's about advocating for yourself and others, being just, adventurous, noble, selfless. And you know what? Gryffindors are even competitive. You see Harry competing in Quidditch and wanting to be the best, and they're fiercely loyal friends, but they're different than Slytherin. And then number 4 is you have Ravenclaw, which is the air element. Ravenclaws embody wisdom. They embody creativity, intelligence, cleverness, and they're very quirky. And they're great at making wise decisions. They kind of march to the beat of their own drum. And they are good leaders. And that's symbolic of the air element, which represents the mind and the mental plane. So what sign are you? What element are you? So we have Hufflepuff is the earth element, which is practical. And the fixed signs, what that means is that these signs are kind of like the 4 directions. So Hufflepuff is earthy, and the fixed sign for this is Taurus. Slytherin equals Scorpio, which is water. Gryffindor is Leo, which is fire. And Ravenclaw is Aquarius, which is air. And what does all this mean? It means that you primarily you don't need to be one of these signs to be like that kind of element. It means that your energetic signature is of one of these main type of things. Like I've got a lot of fiery energy in my chart, so I would most likely be a Gryffindor. And that can tell you some of a few things. What does that tell you? It tells you, number one, the energy you embody best, like the way you learn, the way you grow, the area of life that you strive, and your strength comes from this area. How you learn. Like earthy people are very practical. They may be very good with money. I know a lot of Tauruses that are good at manifesting, and they're really good with the material realm. Even Virgos and Capricorns have a different aspect of this. But if we're just looking at that one sign and the traits and the elements, then you've got Earth equals practical, good builders. Then you've got Scorpio, which is the deep, the watery, the emotional type. And they're really good at reading people. We're going into Scorpio season now, so it's a good time to purge. It's about that depth, that darkness, that really yin energy. And it's important to, if they're a watery type, that's how you read people, is you read and see and feel the world emotionally. So earthy people tend to be like, I feel like it needs to be practical. They relate to the concrete, everyday aspect of things. The water types say, I feel. The fiery types, they're driven. It's linked to the solar plexus energy. It's linked to the fire chakra of desire and getting things done, but in a more like quick sort of way, and being brave. And then you've got the Aquarius or air element, which is the thinking. I think is very common. So you've got the earth, practical. You've got the water, feeling. You've got the fire, intuition. And you've got the earth, the air element, which is wisdom. So how you show up in the world, how you learn best, and is the energy and the archetype that you're putting out. So which house are you in? Which traits do you embody of these ones listed here? Which energy signature, water, earth, fire, or air, do you feel like you primarily put out into the world? And that could tell you a lot of things. It can tell you your soul's mission, how you best manifest things, what you're here to do, and your unique signature that no one else has but you. So use this information loosely. I know it's a guide. I know it's kind of out there and maybe kind of woo-woo, but the practical advice that I can give you for this is to sit with this and ask, what do I feel? Where do I feel it? So feeling myself, I have a lot of fire and fiery energy. That means that I learn best through intuition. I learn certain things quickly, and that means I also burn out quickly. So that means that's the element that I work with, and that's how I interpret the world best, is through that intuition, through that fire. An earthy type may need to take more time to process things. They may not understand a lot of the spiritual, esoteric stuff. They may need to see it, taste, touch, use their five senses. This is just an example of that. And I know a lot of starseeds are very gifted, and you're definitely one of these types, and that tells you where your soul tribe is at as well. So let me know what you think. You're magical. Let me know what house you're in. Let me know what element you are. Come on out here, buddy. Say hi.
Hi.
Are you magic?
Yeah.
Is the news boring or fun?
Boring.
What about magic? Is that fun?
Yeah.
Are you magic?
Yeah.
All right, say peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.